We're back for episode 5 of the Arts District podcast. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Georgia.
And we have more cool things to talk about.
Yeah.
So last week we checked out Starry Night Art Walk. That was a pretty fun night. Lots of great art to be seen out on the streets and in the galleries. Mm-hmm. Lots of people out. I heard there was 2,000 in total.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
When we finished, we weren't sure of the total number, but I heard today, actually, I read a newspaper article that said 2,000.
Awesome.
So that's great.
Yeah, really exciting. And it was fun being on location and filming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get to do that more in the future.
Yeah, maybe something in Toronto or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We haven't sifted through the footage of it yet, but hopefully it all turned out okay.
Yeah, I think it should be good.
Okay.
You'll have already seen it by now, so.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's so weird being like in that time lapse.
I know. We film in advance, and then I edit the previous weeks, and it gets posted, and we're trying to get ahead because we're both moving to different cities, and we're going to have to
make it work somehow.
Make it work. So,
we're trying to stockpile our episodes.
Yeah, so this is episode 5, and I haven't edited episode 4 yet.
Yeah. Yeah, oh well.
So,
alright.
What have you got today?
I'm going to talk about an artist that's been around for a little while, but he's so under the radar that you've probably never heard of him. And he's from the UK. And then I'm going to talk about an upcoming album release due out in October.
I like the way you're leaving mystery.
Yeah,
I didn't actually
it's like
say.
Kind of not foreshadowing, but I gotta leave you hanging somehow.
Yeah, wow. Well, I will be talking about an exhibition that is open now, and then sort of a big Canadian exhibition, and then I'm going to be talking about a new art movement that's happening that I'm really interested in. So,
cool.
Let's get started.
Do you want to go first?
Sure.
All right.
I wanted to talk about the Alex Colville. Yeah, you can maybe hear a dog.
My family is making some noise outside of the bedroom door.
That's okay. Yeah, so Alex Colville, they're having a huge retrospective of his work at the AGO, Art Gallery of Ontario. So, yeah, huge Canadian artist. He was born in 1920 and just died this past summer in 2013. So he was 92 when he died. And he got a fine art degree when he was young. He was a war artist in World War II.
Cool.
And has some really famous paintings you might have heard of. Horse and Train, which I should stick up here, from 1954, was actually used as the album cover for Bruce Coburn's Night Vision album.
Nice.
So,
Bruce Coburn's a Canadian folk singer-songwriter. He's been around for years if you've never heard of him.
So pretty Canadian roots in this artist and being used by other Canadians, which is cool.
That was really neat.
Yeah. Alex Colville has the record for the highest sale of a painting by a Canadian living artist.
Wow.
So he's pretty well known, and you would recognize the style. I can maybe flash a few.
Yeah, I'm curious if I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I just think this is so cool. The AGO, this is actually the AGO's second retrospective of Alex Colville. He was alive so long. In the 1980s, I think it was 1983, they did a traveling retrospective of his work. And then now this retrospective that opened just a few days ago, August 23rd, and goes until January, is the largest of his work ever. So there are over 100 pieces. And a lot of them haven't been seen publicly before. They're from private collections and from the AGO's collection. The National Gallery is also involved. So. And I believe that painting, Horse and Train, is in Hamilton's art gallery collection. But it's going to be there, so... Yeah.
Cool. So that's at the AGO. How long is it on for?
It's on August 23rd until January 4th.
So quite a while.
Yeah, quite a while.
You got all winter to go see it.
Yeah. So it's being curated by the AGO's head of Canadian art. And yeah, it's pretty exciting. Other stuff about Alex Colville. Again, Canadian stuff. For the Expo 67, Canada's 100th year anniversary, he was commissioned to do a bunch of commemorative coins, and he's also done stamp collections and stuff. So, yeah, pretty big deal in Canada.
I always thought that would be fun to design a stamp.
Yeah. I think it would be so fun.
But nobody really sends mail anymore, so like nobody would see it.
It's kind of a dying thing, yeah. Yeah, so I want to check out this exhibition.
Sounds fun. And when you get down there, I'm sure you'll have lots of time to go see it.
Yeah, I'm going to be close.
You should take your camera and do live on location.
Yeah. Okay, yes. We should upload like little clips of things that we're doing outside of podcasts. Like just when you do something cool, we can upload little clips.
Yeah. Kind of like our ALS ice bucket challenges.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia nominated me for that.
Well, I got nominated and I didn't know who else was going to do it, so...
Yeah.
Yes, I can put the links to our Ice Bucket Challenge videos down below.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Alright. So I'm going to talk about a new artist. Not really new. He's been around for a few years. His name's Keaton Henson. He's just a few years older than us, actually.
Okay.
He's from London, singer-songwriter from London, England. I actually found out about him when I was researching Jeff Buckley one day.
Okay.
It wasn't for the podcast last week, which is funny now that it kind of ties in with that.
Yeah.
But this was months ago. I was bored one day on the computer and I was just reading about like favorite artists and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I clicked on the news tab in Jeff Buckley, and all these like UK newspaper articles were like coming up saying that Keaton Henson was the next Jeff Buckley.
Oh.
So obviously,
high praise.
Yeah, that's quite the acclaim or whatever you call it. Yeah, so that piqued my interest, and before I even heard a sample, I bought the album on iTunes. Wow. Yeah, and I was like, oh, I'll probably like it then. Like if they're saying he's like Jeff Buckley, then totally, I'm down. So I got it on iTunes, and it actually took me like a couple weeks to listen to it, to get around to listening to it, but it's really good. Just kind of a brief history about him. The music's kind of folk rock, very acoustic based and very raw. Like I think he records in his bedroom all the time. He's also a visual artist and a poet. And if you go to his website, www.keatonhenson.com, it's a very interactive website. You can see links to his artwork, and you can stream music and watch videos, and
cool.
He has a Tumblr account. Yeah, he's got a Tumblr account, so if you are into blogging, you can check out his blog as well. He started his own record label called Oak 10 Records. He put out his first album in 2010. It was called Dear, and it came out on another label, but in 2011 when he formed Oak 10, he re-released Dear, and it kind of gained a cult following. Like that's the album that I bought. It's one of those things, I think you either love it or you hate it, but if you love it, then you love it a lot.
Okay.
It's not something I can listen to all the time, but for those kind of rainy day, cozy music days, definitely put on Keaton Henson. In 2012 he put out the Lucky EP, which I haven't heard much about. But 2013 he put out this album called Birthdays, and it's really neat about this. They did a limited edition release where Keaton, being an artist as well, he painted a painting, a big one, and he cut it up into 196 pieces.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then in each limited edition he put in a piece.
Very
so
cool.
I think that's really cool for like connecting people globally. If you have a copy of that limited edition, you've got a little snippet of like a actual painting that you're sharing with 196 or 95 other people. And how cool would it be if like all those people got together like a Facebook event and planned to meet up and like they put together this painting, because I just think that would be so cool. his latest album came out in June of this year. It's called Romantic Works. It's 9 tracks and it's all instrumental. And I was streaming it today online. It's like beautiful music. It's simple, but it's just like striking. Used a lot of cello and piano and woodwind in the arrangements. And it's just like I said earlier, the kind of music that if it's raining outside, you just sit there and put it on, and something about it makes me feel really nostalgic. Like,
oh yeah,
all of Keaton's music, like from the Deer record, when I listen to it, it reminds me of the stuff that I was listening to in college. Even though I wasn't listening to Keaton in college, it just reminds me of that time.
oh yeah.
So it's kind of neat that it makes me feel nostalgic in that way, because it's new music that's making me remember past times. I really think that that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I also like that, after recording 3 other albums as like the singer-songwriter type, with this 4th one, he went a totally different direction. He could have put out another album, singer-songwriter with lyrics, but instead he chose to do something totally different and do totally instrumental. Like, there are some people that can't get into instrumental music, so I think that's really interesting. He actually called this album, Romantic Works, bedroom classical, because he made it all in his bedroom, and he used like classical instrumentation like cello and the woodwind. So
Whoa.
yeah, it's really neat. In terms of comparing him to Jeff Buckley, I sort of get that, because he kind of sings in that falsetto-y range, and a lot of his songs kind of revolve around heartbreak and kind of like the lost boy kind of vibe that Jeff Buckley sometimes would give off. But I actually think that he reminds me more of Conor Oberst from Bright Eyes. Like, I think he sounds so similar to him, and even like the style and the way that he projects his music, I just hear Conor Oberst. So if you like Conor Oberst, then I would definitely recommend checking out Keaton Henson. Something that I think is really kind of quirky and cute about him is that he is like terrified of performing. Like, he has like severe stage fright, and so he only does like 2 or 3 shows a year, and those shows are in like little tiny art galleries or like churches. And so if he is playing those things, like, it gets packed because they're so infrequent.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, like, you either love them or you hate them, and these people that are going out to see him, like, they are like diehard Keaton Henson fans.
Right.
So they're going, and I just thought that was really interesting, because he's pretty under the radar right now. Like, none of you watching this have probably heard of him. Mm-hmm. And he might stay that way for a while just because he doesn't get out there and play live shows, but his music obviously is touching a lot of people out there, so good for Keaton.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I haven't decided which song I'll play for you guys. I kind of want to do one of the instrumental ones, but I might pick something off of Deer. The song that I think got him the most notoriety, is that the word I'm looking for, was off of the Deer album, and it was You Don't Know How Lucky You Are. I think he recorded these songs in his bedroom. He gave a CD to his friend or something, and somehow it ended up this one song getting played on BBC radio, and apparently when they played it for like the first time, they got all these calls coming in saying like, what song was that? And so they put it into like a constant play. So he's definitely an interesting bloke. So we'll play a song.
Does he know not to talk about your dad? Does he know when you're sad?
So I hope you dug that Keaton song. Check him out on his website, www.keatonhenson.com, or just Google him.
It's got a pretty unique name.
Read all about him. All right, what's next, George?
Right. So I wanted to talk about an art movement that's been happening over the last, I don't know, at least 10 years or so, but I only sort of started getting into it last semester at university. It is called glitch art, and it sort of embraces the glitches of digital technology.
Oh, I had no idea where you were going with that, glitch art, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, so again, I have a Wikipedia entry, and this did not go very well last time, but hopefully this makes sense. Glitch art is the aestheticization of digital or analog errors, such as artifacts or other bugs, by either corrupting digital code/data or by physically manipulating electronic devices. So I think you could probably imagine in your head analog type stuff getting glitched, even with records snapping and popping and skipping and stuff. That's a glitch. And sort of the same when you would see like streaks in video on VHS and stuff like that. But getting into more contemporary stuff, people are glitching photography and video. There's actually really cool ways that you can open up, well, I have a Mac, so I don't know how it works on a PC, but you could take a photo and you do your sort of like right click and you have an option to open with a variety of programs. So you can select other or something like that to be able to see all of the programs you have, and you can take a photo or a video file and open it in TextEdit, which is just a really simple text editor on Macs. And then you can just see all of the code that makes up the digital photograph or video, and you just start messing with it. You can take bits of it and put it in different places. You can delete parts of it. You can put in parts from other photographs or videos, and then save the file and open it with like preview or something, and you end up with a really messed up image.
Okay, so this is something that people are totally aware of when they're doing it. It's not like an accident happened while they were trying to do something like legitimate, and they took that accident and made it into its own little art piece.
It goes both ways. I know that there are artists who just like screen cap every time their computer screws up. Like, I have friends that are just collecting, like, every time they're watching video online and it messes up, they like take a picture of it. But there are also people physically going into the files and manipulating them. But I don't think people 100% understand how the code works yet.
That's what I was going to say, because like coding is specific, like with your dashes and little arrow things, and like if you mess it up, then it is no longer like a readable code, and your computer can't like process it.
Right.
So if you'd have to know some sort of coding, wouldn't you?
I've done it, and I don't think you do. Like once in a while you go a little bit too far and the file is totally corrupt, but often you can do just like couple of changes and all of a sudden the photo is like blurred and green.
Can you post a picture of something you did?
Yeah, totally. And I might even do it to a section of video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like one of those like YouTube tutorials?
Yeah. I actually wanted to mention a couple. There is a really cool YouTube tutorial, but yeah, I'm gonna glitch us for a little bit.
Nice.
But
you're gonna glitch us?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Georgia's gonna.
I'm gonna try it. We'll see. If nothing happens and there's no glitching, it's because I couldn't get it to work. Because I've never tried it with video before, but I have definitely done it with photos, so I can stick up photos and stuff.
All right, I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, it was sort of part of an evolution of a photography project that I was working on. That ended up being loading photos at the duration of their exposure time. So like the first photo was like an 8-hour exposure, so I made that photo sort of like load on your computer screen in a browser over 8 hours. But before I got to that stage of the project, I was really interested in the history of photography and digital culture and stuff like that, so I was glitching old photographs so I can stick some of those up somewhere as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's a really cool glitch tutorial I want to talk to you about. It's actually 6 parts, and it's mostly about video. It's by an artist and educator named Briz, and he has a website. So you should check out this 6-part YouTube series. It's all about how to glitch and what it means to glitch and stuff like that. It's really interesting, sort of, I wouldn't say interactive, but his presentation style is like a video of his screen, and he has like video of himself up as well as what he's working on, and you can sort of see how everything moves and stuff. So those are really great tutorials that I was looking at when I was looking into glitching.
So how long has this been around? This is the first time hearing of it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'd say as long as stuff has been able to be glitched. People have been, I mean, initially people would have started out being like, oh my gosh, this thing glitched and it sucks, but it's sort of turning around, I'd say, in the last few years, and people are like embracing it and
Before
loving
you know it, there's going to be an app that's like called glitching. It'll be like Instagram, where you put up your picture and then it does some weird thing, and then it's just like a glitched image.
There's actually already sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
I was
actual
thinking,
apps.
I was like, I could do that.
I haven't seen apps, but I know there's a website where you can upload a photo, and then there's like a sliding scale, and you can decide how much you want it to be glitched. But I think it's way more fun to like open up the file, get in there, and like you try stuff, and then you save it and open it, and then you try something else and save it and open it.
Well, that makes it way more of an artist project, because you're actually getting in there and manipulating something.
Yeah,
whereas if you're just letting the computer do all the work and you're just sliding a little circle across the bar, then that takes away all the fun.
But if you want to check it out, I can link that website. I know that I've found it before, and I can find it again.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I also wanted to mention that this is sort of becoming a mainstream thing. I was looking on the a PBS YouTube channel. It is PBS Off Book, and they have one called The Art of the Glitch. So it's becoming sort of more of a mainstream thing.
I'd say so.
It's so cool.
That is neat.
I love it.
I'm excited to see some of your stuff.
Thanks.
Is that it for that?
That's it for that.
All right, so the album release that I was talking about is one that I'm really excited for. It's,
wow, this is like pure joy.
Oh my god, like can you just, my passion is just like radiating towards the camera. Stevie Nicks is coming out with a new album October 7th, 2014. Yeah, I have like butterflies in my stomach talking about it, because she is like my ultimate favorite like person, just, you know. Yeah. So the album's called 24 Karat Gold Songs from the Vault. There's 14 new old songs on it. So these songs were written between 1967 and 1995, and she is these were songs that were just basically rough demos back in the day, and now she is going to record legitimate versions of them.
Oh, cool.
The whole project came to be because a bunch of these songs had kind of leaked onto YouTube. Like, I guess over the years, people had been at her house or whatever and recorded little demos. I guess they wouldn't have done it on their iPhones because they didn't exist back then.
Right.
But like cassette recorders and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And they got put up onto YouTube. And I guess her assistant found a bunch of them and was showing them to her, and it kind of sparked something could be done there. So I'm really excited for that, because like the 60s, late 60s, early 70s time period for Stevie's writing is one of my favorites. Okay. And so, so far 2 songs have been released, 2 singles. The first one came out August 5th, is called The Dealer. And the second one actually came out yesterday, August 25th. It's called Lady. And I hear that time period in those songs so much that like I am just stoked. It's gonna be so good. It's her 8th studio album. It's coming out on Warner Brothers, and she says that, I mean, if you go online and reading about it, there's a big quote that she says about this record and what it means, but the very last thing she says is, these songs are the memories. So basically it's an album full of songs about like heartbreak and, you know, her success over the years and all that stuff, that whole time period. You know, here's somebody who writes down everything in journals and in songs, and so you're getting a real glimpse into that period of her life, which I think is really cool.
With a really interesting like blindsided element too.
Yeah.
That's neat to be like re-recording them.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like, it reminds me like of a greatest hits record, one that comes out when somebody's already like super established, but these are brand new to us. And I mean, unless you've heard the YouTube demos, but like on a whole new scale, like these are songs that were written like, I don't know, 30 years ago? I'm not very good at math. Anyways, the album artwork is featuring never before seen Polaroids too. So that's gonna be really cool because like I've seen a ton of pictures of Stevie and she's a beautiful woman, and when she, like the 60s, 70s, like she was just that SoCal, you know, bohemian beauty, and so I'm really excited to see some new pictures of her in her little shawls and chiffon, and you know, they're just gonna be great. She actually created her own Instagram. Whether or not she actually runs it, she probably doesn't, but it's called Stevie Nicks Official, and they've been releasing little snippets of not each song, but most of the songs. Like every couple days or once a week they put out a new sample, so I've also been kind of hearing little snippets of the album through that, and they're good, they're great. I'm really excited. She's making this record with Dave Stewart of the Eurythmics, and he actually worked with her on her last album in 2011. It's called In Your Dreams, and that record got a lot of acclaim. It was said to be like her best studio album as a solo artist so far in her career. So I mean, that's pretty nuts because she's been working solo since the 80s. It was her first record in 10 years. She was kind of persuaded by her whole team of people that worked for her not to put out an album during like the 2000s because nobody was buying them anymore, and they just thought it'd be a waste. So I guess that's why she went that whole period without producing anything. But there was one song, I guess, that kind of, you know, sparked her, and she thought, why not make one? I'll make it for myself. So she put out In Your Dreams. They actually made a documentary of the making of the movie, and I was talking about it last week when Georgia was talking about TIFF. I have my copy of it here. It's a great documentary. You know, if you are fans of any kind of making of video, then I'd watch it because, you know, Stevie, you've heard crazy stories about her and, you know, all the people that she's been with, or her like crazy cocaine habit back in the day. But like, whether you like her or not, she is like a rock goddess. So you just watch her because she's so like extravagant in her own way. Really, something really cool actually for artists or designers. Right now they're doing you can design your shawl, like Stevie's known for wearing like these shawls and like not ponchos but like wrap kind of things, and she's put this offer out to all designers, artists, to design her a shawl.
Oh my god. Yeah,
and I really want to do that, but I'm not very good at, you know.
We should do it together.
We should.
Yeah, and we'll just put the Arts District podcast related on it.
The contest is open until September 22nd.
Okay.
It's a global, so anyone can do it. It's being put through this company called Talent House, which I think is affiliated with Dave Stewart somehow. And yeah, the winner gets like $2,000 put towards actually making the shawl. So you just send in a sketch kind of idea, or you can make a prototype if you have the skills and materials available. And then it gets juried, and she picks the one that is the winner, and then you make it, you send it to her, she takes some pictures in it, and then you get it back and you get to use it in like your portfolio or whatever. Wow. And say Stevie Nicks wore my shawl.
/ you'll probably sell it on eBay because
yeah.
Well, you would. You would keep it forever.
It would be framed. It would be on my wall right here. Like I have a Stevie Nicks poster here, Fleetwood Mac poster here, and another Stevie Nicks poster here. And I just so happen to be wearing my Fleetwood Mac shirt today. That was totally not planned.
Okay. All right.
I did not plan this. I have a lot of shirts that say Fleetwood Mac on them. And Stevie Nicks. I should have worn that one. Yeah, so Stevie's been super busy. So she's got this new record coming out in October. Fleetwood Mac's working on a new album, and they're going on tour September 30th starting. of this year, which I still need to get tickets for. So I don't know how she finds time to do all this, you know. She's in her 60s and she is just rocking it still. I just think she's super awesome. Everyone, like, if you know me, you know how much I love Fleetwood Mac, so I am really excited. I guess we'll play a little snippet of one of the songs, maybe The Dealer or Lady. Yeah, if you're interested in getting a copy of 24 Karat Gold, I think you can pre-order it right now. They actually are doing a limited release where you get the album on vinyl, and you get like this 48-page like picture book basically of all those Polaroids, and I think you get like a lithograph with a signature on it. I really wanted to buy it, but I can't really afford it right now. It's not even that expensive. It's like $50. But I got it for her last record, and so I think for the time being I have enough Stevie memorabilia.
I know, we're pretty young. If you start heavy collecting now, you're going to have a lot later.
But I'm worried because they only make so many copies, and what if I don't get it and then I never get to have it? Or I have to buy it when it's like used. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm one of those people that it has to be like in the wrapper, you know?
Yeah, I did notice that about your DVD.
It's in the wrapper still.
Yeah.
But that's not because of that reason. I just haven't had time to watch it since I got it because it's really long. It's like 2.5 hours.
Right.
And every day off I have, I'm like, I'm going to watch my Stevie Nicks documentary today, and then I just never get around to it. Yeah.
Plus it's hard to match up when you like saw it
in person and saw Stevie Nicks right there.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's not going to be the same experience.
No. No. Not until we're BFFs. And we can watch it together in the living room.
One day. Because she's going to want to watch it. She's going to be like, I want to sit down and do commentary for the documentary that I did that I know that you haven't watched since you saw it the first time.
Yeah. So that's Stevie Nicks, 24 Karat Gold, songs from the vault. Super exciting.
Yeah.
Look into it and enjoy this sample.
Lately I just keep waiting. I see nothing out there. The sun keeps throwing out its light from the clouds, but there's no light in here. I know that things have gotta change, but how to change them isn't clear. I'm tired of knocking on doors when there's nobody there.
All right. Hope you liked that Stevie Nicks sample. I think that's all we have for today.
That's it.
Good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fast. It seems like we're recording them faster and faster.
I know. I can't believe this is episode 5. Seems like yesterday we had the idea to start a podcast.
Mm-hmm. Brownstone Cafe.
Yeah. The inception.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually funny to watch them too as we go, like, our first one was so awkward.
Yeah. The second one was kind of a little bit more awkward. And I think the third one we started getting better.
I think so. Now I feel pretty comfortable. Yeah, it's nice to actually feel that progression. Mm-hmm. It's actually helped a lot with, like, speaking in public.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I had an interview yesterday and I felt much more confident.
Yeah.
And
same. I had an interview a couple of days ago and I was just like, bam, 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 bam. This is what I like. This is what I'm good at. This is why you should hire me. The Arts District Podcast. All right. Thanks for watching.
bye.